WNBA free agency is still hot and heavy, and it's still getting headline news. We got Unrivaled going on, but the WNBA free agency has picked up a lot of faces in new places, and there's one particular person that's missing off of a WNBA roster. But we'll get off into all that next here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, the WNBA free agency is still hot and heavy, and people are still watching the players tracker and all the movement that's going on around the WNBA. Also, we got the Unrivaled League where people are still paying close attention and enjoying what the Unrivaled League is bringing us and the excitement. But there's a lot of eyes on this WNBA free agency. The free agency period started on February 1st. There was a lot of teams that offered, certain players that was restricted free agents, a qualifying offer for February 1st. And noticeably missing was Chennedy Carter from the Chicago Sky's qualifying offer. And she was a restricted free agent. Now, a lot of people are wondering why Chennedy Carter is still without a job and she's still seeking employment with all the movement going on around the WNBA and all these players in different places signing on to these different teams. A lot of teams are blowing up their roster, and it's been a lot of player movement. And, we started off free agency with a bang. Now, we started off with the Jewel Lloyd trade where she's headed to the Las Vegas Aces. Kelsey Plum, she landed with the Los Angeles Sparks. Now, Alyssa Thomas, formerly of the Connecticut Suns, her and Satu Sabli, they signed on with the Phoenix Mercury. Now, also, Phoenix lost Brittany Griner, their 11-year veteran. She signed with the Atlanta Dream. Also, Brianna Jones as well. Now, also, this past Sunday, Wnba, she signed a 1-year deal with the Indiana Fever. Now, it's been a lot of player movement going on. Now, the latest update is Marina Mabry. She's requested another trade. Now, she was with the Chicago Sky last year. She requested to be out of there, got traded to the Connecticut Sun. She was a great role player coming off the bench. She could flat out light it up. And now she's requested a trade because pieces have moved on. You see Dejanay Carrington, she signed with the Dallas Wings. Now Alyssa Smith, her girlfriend signed with the Dallas Wings as well. She left the Indiana Fever and signed with the Dallas Wings after the trades went down. So, noticeably missing is Chennedy Carter, one of the best guards in the WNBA. Now also, yesterday, Sydney Colson, with the Las Vegas Aces, she signed a 1-year deal with the Indiana Fever. And, what Chicago has done in free agency, they signed Kia Nurse, and also they signed Courtney Vandersloot, and also Rebecca Allen. Also, they traded away in there to get them pieces was Lindsey Allen. Everybody thought that Dana Evans should have been the piece that was on the move. But I don't think a lot of teams highly coveted Dana Evans. Also we saw Natasha Howard. She signed with the Indiana Fever. And, the Connecticut Suns, they finally, took Diamond DeShields from Chicago. She signed a 1-year deal with the Connecticut Suns. And, the Indiana Fever, they have waived, Victoria Saxton. So, but, noticeably missing, like I said, is Chennedy Carter. Why is Chennedy Carter still without a job? That's what people are trying to find out. The highly talented guard in Chennedy Carter, she's a flat-out baller. She's probably one of the best, like I said, guards in the WNBA, and she seems to not be able to latch onto a WNBA team. I don't even know if there's a market for her. I mean, we're 4 or 5 days into the WNBA free agency, and there's no noise out there surrounding around Chennedy Carter. But I did, come across an article. A guy was talking about what Chennedy Carter brings to the table and why she's not on a WNBA roster. Take a look at this article. She's number 3 on this guy's big board. And he said, Chennedy Carter is coming off one of the best seasons of her career. She averaged 17.5 points a game, 3.1 assists on 48.7% shooting on the Chicago Sky last year. But despite being the team's most consistent player on the court, Sky opted not to extend restricted free agent and all. As such, Carter has played 3 WNBA teams in 4 seasons, dreaming the Spark, but yet has found a long-term home, right? So it's kind of disturbing. So, like per Chicago Sun-Times Annie Constable, the Sky decision not to sign Carter was tied to locker room issues and overall concern that resigning her would negatively impact free agency, right? So if the off-court stuff works, Carter is a great shot maker who can either uplift a struggling team or instantly benefit a contender. Right now, she's been tearing up the Women's Chinese Basketball Association, averaging 30.3 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, 5.8 assists, and 2.5 steals per game. Carter is not a three-point shooter. She shot 29.3% from 3 in her 4-year WNBA career, but she's an elite finisher and mid-range shooter who can create space like no other. So, it's kind of baffling that she is not on an WNBA roster right now. I mean, the Chicago Skies did her a disservice by not signing her a qualifying offer, extending her a qualifying offer. But see, that's the thing about Chennedy Carter. She gets in her own way. Now, her reputation across the WNBA has played a big part in the reason why she's not on the WNBA roster. As talented as she is, a lot of these GMs around the league probably don't want to take on the headache. And it has to be more to it than what people are putting out there about Chennedy Carter, because just a locker room episode should not keep you off of a WNBA roster, as talented as she is. Like I said, I'm going to keep reiterating it. One of the best guards in the WNBA. By far, she is probably top 3 shooting guards in the WNBA. And she is not on nobody's roster. And it's unfortunate that her background and what she has done in the WNBA has traveled with her. The episode she had with the Dream, the episode she had with the Los Angeles Sparks. Now, what allegedly they say has happened in Chicago has cost this young lady an WNBA roster spot. We go back to the incident where she had against the Indiana Fever. That brought light to the whole situation, and that just roared its ugly head and brought out the negative past of Chennedy Carter. And it's unfortunate, a talented player like she is, but she's her own worst enemy. She just can't get right. You go over to the Chinese National League and you ball out, and they give you an award that shouldn't have been an award, because I didn't know you had past hiccups in that Chinese league as well. And like I've always said, Teresa Weatherspoon gave her another shot with the Chicago Sky. The Chicago Sky signed Chennedy Carter last year as a late late camp invite, signing. You know what I'm saying? And she worked her way on that roster. Teresa Weatherspoon gave her another opportunity. Now that Teresa Weatherspoon is gone, it seems like she can't get an opportunity nowhere else. And it's unfortunate. It's unfair, man, because she is talented and she belongs in the WNBA. She belongs in the WNBA. So what's the holdup of this girl being unemployed and seeking for a job, and there's no teams willing to bring her on thus far? She has had no offers or no rumblings about Chennedy Carter potential signing with this certain team. You know, she's an unrestricted free agent. She can sign with any team she wants. But I guess the negotiations between her and her team with these general managers are not going well, because she can sign with any team. But it seems like these general managers do not want Chennedy Carter on their team. So you guys let me know what y'all think about today's podcast on why Chennedy Carter is not on somebody's WNBA roster. It's unfortunate that Chennedy Carter is not on somebody's roster, and she needs to be. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And we're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Droppin' podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.